Hey guys, Delta Canuckian here, and now that the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta has completed, it was a short, I think about 10-day beta, I decided to kind of sit down and talk for a few minutes about my overall impressions of the game, because my thoughts after leaving PAX, after playing for like 20 minutes there, have changed considerably, I think, after this beta, and I think part of that, it's hard to make a good judgment because there was so little in the beta itself. There was one game mode, there was one game type. You only got to mess around with 12 of the 72 like nationalities slash classes you can unlock. So it's hard to get too strong of an opinion, but overall I will share my thoughts. As this is a game that I've been planning on covering on my channel, doing commentary, stuff like that, for a long time now. So if you didn't play the beta, or you were on one of the other consoles, other platforms other than 360 and could not play it, the best way to describe the feel of the game is if you played Battlefield 3, specifically the Close Quarters DLC. It's a bit like that, except I would honestly go as far to say that the controls feel a little more refined, a little tighter, whereas the Battlefield stuff can be a little hit or miss at times. And part of that could be because I was using the Xbox controller versus the PlayStation controller, the DualShock, because I play Battlefield on PS3, and the Xbox 360 controller has been designed primarily with first-person shooters in mind, so that might help a bit with it. But overall, I did find the controls to be a little bit tighter. So I'll talk about the good stuff to start off, and that is, we'll start with two things that have been carried over from single player that were present in the single player of the previous Medal of Honor, but not in the multiplayer. And those two things are sliding and peek and lean. So basically, what they are is sliding is when you're sprinting, you hit the crouch button, instead of just stopping and going into crouch, you'll actually kind of slide up to wherever you were going, so you can use that to slide into cover really nicely, which is a really great tactic, because while this is more fast-paced, close-quarters combat, there are definitely times where you want to kind of hang back, play it more tactical, stay in cover, and just kind of peek out. Almost head glitch. You'll see a lot of that in this game, actually. And that's where the next thing comes in, peek and lean. So instead of, having to just aim down sight and, keep your body the same way and try and use that to get around corners, especially when, you're trying to look around the side of a building, you can actually use the left shoulder button instead of the left trigger to basically root your character on the spot, and then use the sticks to kind of move in and around and lean out of cover, or peek around cover, which is really great, and it works well with the sliding into cover. It's great when you want to slow the game down and play more tactical, and you can just pop in and out and take, pop shots off, and it's really great. It works really well. I was worried that they wouldn't be able to implement it very well into the multiplayer and keep things fast-paced, but the game still, the action keeps coming, especially in a game mode like this where the objective is moving around constantly. So those are two of the really good things, and there were really no faults I found with the gameplay. There might have been, there's some worry about the Demolitions class being a little overpowered with its special ability, the tank stance, that basically, I don't know if it quite doubles your health, but basically if you face that guy on head on and you're by yourself, you have full health, he has full health, and the tank stance, you're not going to be able to win that gun battle at all, because he's basically got double health. So there's some worries that ability is a little overpowered, and I do hope Danger Close dials it down a bit, just for the sake of balance, because otherwise the game seems very, really balanced, more so than really any Call of Duty, or for that matter, almost even Battlefield. I've noticed some balance issues. There's been some balance issues with Battlefield, but Medal of Honor, besides the Demolitions class, I have really almost no issues. If anything, they should make it a little easier to see what you're doing when you're the Apache pilot. You can't, you really cannot see that well. You basically have to be like, okay, I think the enemy is going through this area, and try and bottleneck them off and just fire there and hope you hit something. Whereas the Apache gunner, who will be your fire team buddy, can do real damage. It's really easy for him to pick guys off, and God, that kill streak does work. it does work. So, you know, other than that, those are like the big positives, the big standouts. Because other than, yeah, I've said that like 3 times in a row. Other than that, it plays out like any other first-person shooter would, like Call of Duty, like Battlefield. So there's nothing overly new besides those little features, and of course the Fireteam buddies, which I've talked about before, I believe, more on streams, which is a great function. I think it's better than the squads in Battlefield because it's more personal. You're running around with a buddy, you have to rely on him. You know, you guys can heal each other, you can resupply each other's ammo, all that good stuff. So that's a great thing. I think that's the biggest thing that's going to separate Medal of Honor from especially Call of Duty, is having that like almost vital sense of teamwork. And I hope it becomes more apparent in the other game modes. This game mode was not my favorite. It's called Hotspot. Part of that was probably just because I played a lot of it. I played a lot of this beta, but you know, I'm not a huge fan of this mode. My biggest concern with Medal of Honor Warfighter is something, and I'll use my friend Brandon's words, is it feels like the substitute. It feels like this is the kind of game that when you don't want to play Battlefield and you don't want to play Call of Duty, you just throw this in and you play that instead. And that's the biggest concern for Medal of Honor Warfighter, in my opinion, is keeping an online community, because it's too much like Call of Duty for a lot of Battlefield players, and it's too much like Battlefield for a lot of Call of Duty players. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest issues this game is going to face at launch and heading into just its extended life, because, you know, this is releasing on October 23rd. Black Ops 2 is right around the corner. DICE just released the trailer for the new DLC Aftermath for Battlefield 3, which looks great as well. And I think that's going to cause a lot of problems. So this is a game that if you're thinking about dropping money on it, I'd really suggest that you wait for the reviews to see how it is. Wait to see what other people think of it. And really, if you're going to buy it, you should be really sure you want to play it, because if you're just going to buy it and go to Black Ops 2 2 weeks later, it's probably not going to be worth it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Those are my thoughts on Medal of Honor Warfighter after the beta. Comment, like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.